Welcome back, our dear viewers, and to shed more light on the economic relations binding Egypt and the European Union, we are joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Mr. Ambassador.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us on Cairo local time on Nile TV International.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Sir, at the beginning, how does Brussels summit represent an important milestone in deepening relations between the European Union and Egypt?
It is a very important new step, and it is a sort of a circle of a chain of success story. It started in 2001 when we finished negotiations with the European Union. Then we had the association agreement between Egypt and the 15 by then. Now they are 27. Since 2004, the agreement entered into power. And in this short period, our exports to the European Union increased by 4 times, something enormous. And also their relation with us, their exports increased twice, and their development assistance is doubled and even tripled now. So that's made of the European Union our largest and most important partner in trade. And the commissioner yesterday, when talking in front of our president, she said that Egypt is exporting to the European Union much more than the exports coming from China, India, and the United States. This is enormous. So we hope that now, after the great success of the Conference of Peace in Sharm el-Sheikh, it was quite obvious that everybody is looking to Egypt and our president with highly esteemed estimation.
Yes.
So now they decided for the first time to put the relations at the level of the presidential level, because according to the association agreement, we have mechanisms to manage the agreement, started by the higher committee, which is combined by the foreign ministers of Egypt and the 27, and it makes one meeting every year. Then we have another 6 specialized committees, small committees, covering trade, investment, human resources, security, fighting against the organized crime. And the organized crime here means illegal migration, it means drug trafficking and money laundering. Yes. And also those committees are reporting to the ministerial level. Well, now they decided, both sides decided to give much weight to the relations with this step, which is unique in the relation between Egypt and the European Union. And I don't recall at all that the European Union is making this step with any country in the south of the Mediterranean.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, to what extent would the gathering affirm shared commitment to the long-term stability, also peace and security among the participants?
This is very important also, because we are happy that we are living in a very troubled world. The situation in the world is not that good. The relation between Russia and the Western country in the pact of the Western Union, because of Ukraine, of course, this affects the trade in energy, the trade in food, and it is a small trade war. On the other side, also, we are a little bit worried about the attitude of the President of the United States, when in his first 100 days, he started by imposing a tax on the exports of China to Europe, although China is the largest partner to United States. He imposed also another tariff on the European Union exports to Europe.
Well,
lately he discovered that this is illegal. It doesn't match with the commitments of the United States itself with the World Trade Organization. And they discovered that the United States will lose if we treat them the same treatment. All these worries are on the table where our president is sitting there. On the regional level, we are worried about our region is not in good health. Syria is occupied by 5 different armies. Libya is divided among their people. Sudan, which is the most important neighbor to us, the army is divided among themselves, and they are threatening each other. A lot of victims. Now we have millions of Sudanese living in Egypt because of this. Yemen, which is a member of the Arab League and a member of the Treaty of Defense, of the Arab Defense, it became a threat to our security by threatening navigation in the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. All these things are worrying us. Then we come to the bilateral direct relations between Egypt and the European Union, which is really highly satisfactory to us and to them. And the European Commissioner, she declared that they will increase the development assistance to Egypt in the coming few years, and they are happy with the Egyptian performance concerning stopping any illegal migration to go to Europe. Compare this with some countries around us which became a threat by the illegal migration. By the way, Europe needs new migrants, but they should go legally through visa system. And I am happy to tell you that Italy is granting us 6,000 visas for those who want to live in Italy legally. Greece is also offering us another 2,000 visas. This is the way to deal with such a delicate matter, and I am happy to tell our audience that the European Union and Egypt are both satisfied with this performance concerning the bilateral relations between Egypt and the 27.
Well, also, Mr. Ambassador, how do you evaluate the strategic relations between Egypt and EU to address common regional and global challenges and also promote shared or common interests?
Very important, and in such a meeting, we are keen to listen to the ideas of the Europeans, how they evaluate the situation in the United Nations where the world justice is threatened by the American veto, and we want to hear how the European Union and its members are evaluating such a matter. Same thing, but they are keen to listen to our president to evaluate the situation in the Middle East. Gaza is among or on top of our worries, and there is a very positive change in the European position by being a supporter to the Palestinian liberation Fatah. And now the European Union became the largest supporter, financial supporter to the PLO, which is very good also. Another thing that I know now that whenever Israel is destroying any project financed by the European Union in Palestine, the Palestinian would reduce, the European Union will reduce the cost of such a building or organization from their assistance to Israel. They are very active now with us, and this is a positive attitude. That's why now we are happy that it is now the relation is taking care compare by the level of the president. Of course, you realize that our president is there with some of our ministers, so immediately whatever we agreed upon, they will immediately implement in the same day. This is very good, and I hope this will push our relation with the European Union, that we can attract much more investment in Egypt. By the way, the European Union is among the largest investors in Egypt by almost 40 billion European euro. This is an enormous sum, and we want to double it. But we have to enlarge our capacity to absorb new investors. Also, we have to do our homework in this concern.
Well, also, Mr. Ambassador, the European Union and Egypt emphasize that peace, security and rules-based international orders are the heart of their long-standing partnership. How could these factors also boost economic stability among the partners, from your point of view?
This is always a sort of coordination between Egypt and the European Union on the level of the presidential level, on the level of the ministries. And I am quite sure that our ambassadors all over the European continent are in a very good relation to contacting the authorities in order to coordinate our position in all whatever problems we are facing, especially on the international level, because the United Nations is not in good health. They cannot implement their decisions. And take Israel as an example. They refuse to implement any decision taken by the United Nations General Assembly, and it is amazing. So I hope that this will make our situation, especially concerning the Palestinian question, make a step over and step forward in order to bring this disastrous situation against the Palestinians to an end.
Well, also, Mr. Ambassador, the two sides affirm the significance of the rule of law and human rights, and also civil society in achieving stability and sustainable development also. How did the bloc assess Egypt's efforts in implementing Egypt Vision 2030?
Yes, this is a very important file. I personally added to it sometimes whenever we talk to the European, because what human rights we are talking about. And I always say that we are asking in Egypt, for example, to respect the human rights for the sake of Egyptians, not to please our European friends, not at all. Because our European friends, they have their own culture. That's why I insist when we draft our agreement, I say that to respect human rights and opinions, bearing in mind the difference in the different cultures. And here we have a difference with the European, few differences. One of them that they are asking us to stop the penalty of killing. And we refuse this because it's something belongs to the Islam and to Christianity also. The one who is killing, he should be killed. And it is in our beliefs, in our culture. Another something funny, they are asking us to not to allow a man to marry two ladies or more. And I answered that several times, whether in Brussels or London and Paris, that we allow this. I am personally against having a man with two wives. I am satisfied with my wife, but take a problem that a man and his wife, and they do not give birth, and they want to have children, and the lady is responsible for this. Isn't it logic to allow the man to marry another lady, with, of course, because our law insists that the first wife should agree on the second wife. Compare this culture with the culture in Europe, where a president of one big European country, that he has his wife and he has a mistress and 3 illegal children. This is better than our situation? That's why we are talking a little bit aggressive in this concern, and I think they understand quite well when we talk in a closed room. They understand quite well whatever we are talking about.
Well, also, Mr. Ambassador, Egypt and EU welcome the Mediterranean Charter to enhance economic and social cooperation and also create new opportunities for youth and women. How do you see the significance of that in your point of view?
It is very important because the Euro-Mediterranean policy depends on what we call Barcelona Declaration. Yes. That was in 1995. And it was addressing the voice of Europe towards 12 countries in the South Mediterranean. Now we are 8. Most of them are Arabs, coming from Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Jordan, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. All these countries are engaged in bilateral relations with Europe, and at the same time unilateral the relation between the 8 Arab countries from one side with the 27 on the other side, and many times we make sort of meetings and conferences which combine all the 27 and all the 8 Arab countries. Now we took the initiative of establishing what we call the Agadir Group. The Agadir Group is the Arab countries geographically are looking to the Mediterranean Sea, and they establish a free trade area, depends also and coordinate with the free trade area with Europe. And this we can make another deepening to the relation, whether between the Arab Mediterranean countries or between them as a whole with the European Union as a partner.
Well, also, Mr. Ambassador, the European Union renews its commitment to supporting Egypt's economic stability through a 7.4 billion euros financial package. What are your expectations for the outcome of this?
Many people are asking your question.
Yes.
And they think that we take the money in cash. No, nobody is giving us money in cash. We are addressing always projects, and any project financed by the European Union or any other donor, it must be on our economic plan. Take the underground, the metro, it is French project. Take the opera, it is another example. Take the electricity, where the Germans are proud that they build electricity stations as much as 4 times the Aswan High Dam. Nobody knows that. The telephone system, it was the German who make it quite well, and we are enjoying this service now, while in the 80s it was very difficult and impossible to make a telephone call quietly. Now we have an excellent telephone system, and so on. Many projects are financed by the European Union, and most of the finance is in the shape of grants, not in the shape of loans.
Well, also, how would the Egyptian-EU partnership in improving water management and also sustainable farming and food value chains influence the economic process and also social stability in Egypt?
We see the opportunity in anything you can think about, and we take the European experience. And we have a huge project. I was head of it 10 years ago, which is supporting the Egyptian official ministries and official authorities. We started by maritime safety. We went to water sewage. We went to housing. We went to education or health care. we finance more than 100 projects with very small financing, because we don't need to build a project, but we want to bring the experience of Europe to us. Even the Central Bank of Egypt, we had a project with them with the help, we call it twinning, with the Central Bank of Europe. And 8 central banks in different countries in Europe looked to this project as a successful one. So they joined us in order to make our banking system running according to the international level, which we call it Basel I, Basel II, Basel III. Even the Central Bank of Egypt benefited from such an experience. Name it, anything comes to your mind, it was financed by this project. I am proud to tell you that I signed $93 million of checks to make those more than 100 projects to get experience from Europe to Egypt.
Okay, one final question, Mr. Ambassador. The two sides also addressed promoting trade, investment, and green energy. How do you see how do you evaluate the advantage of partnership in such domains?
You mean investment?
Yes, in green energy, developing green transformation projects, digitalization.
Of course, and the trick here, we are telling the Europeans, if you come to Egypt and invest in Egypt, it's not the 100 million market. No, we have a free trade area with the Arab countries, which 450 million countries. We have another free trade area with the African Union, 1 billion and 200 million inhabitants, and name it. So this is the attraction here about the possibility and the saving we are giving them the chance to have it. Another thing that we are proud that the zone of Suez Canal, it is exactly in the middle of the map of the world. Even with we are attracting countries far from us, like China or Japan, to come and to invest here, instead of sending the merchandise from Tokyo up to London. No, if you send it from Suez, from the Suez Canal zone, so it is shorter and it's much more less expensive. This is how we are marketing to bring more and more investors. But let me be frank to our audience, telling them that we have also homework. We have to make our bureaucracy less obstacle. We have to make our banking system much more active and much more clever to save time, because an investor has no time to waste while his money is waiting to come.
Well, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much, sir, for your insight. And dear viewers, a short break and we will be back, so stay tuned.